Hello everybody, and welcome back to some All the Mod 7 to the Sky. So, last episode we got together and we worked on our HDPE sheets and pellets and making our way towards our antimatter, which is where we're going to go today. We're going to get our fissile fuel set up. If we have enough time, we will get the reactor and everything set up as well. So, in order to do this, if we go in here, we need to get to fissile fuel. Fissile fuel is made in the isotopic centrifuge. We need uranium hexafluoride in order to do that. This is a long process. So, to get the uranium hexafluoride, we need uranium oxide, which is yellow cake uranium, which is just uranium smelted in an enrichment chamber. So we got plenty of uranium. We've got that part squared away. We're going to need hydrofluoric acid for this, and that is sulfuric acid with fluorite, and that gives us the hydrofluoric. So it doesn't matter which way we do this; it's all going to all mass out the same. But to get the sulfuric acid, we need sulfur trioxide, water vapor. The sulfur trioxide is oxygen and sulfur dioxide, and the sulfur dioxide is just sulfur in a chemical oxidizer. So, like I said, a lot of work to do. So, I'm going to get this set up. We'll come back once I get it set up, and we'll go through everything. It's just easier to do it that way, because I'm going to try to do it the same way I did with our HDPE, which is to try to make this as clean and as nice as we can, and still have everything running through or at least where we can keep an eye out for everything on our applied energistic system. The fissile fuel will be going off somewhere else to make the reactor, but I want to be able to keep an eye on how much we got. So I'm going to get at it. Alright, so quick progress update. We're at the point of making the sulfur trioxide. I've got it going inside of this guy here. As you can see, we're making it right on up. So our whole purpose of this is to try to get as much out of it as we can. As we're making this stuff, because the more we can make it and the faster we can make it, the more we can burn in our reactor and get our nuclear waste into the polonium and stuff a lot quicker. We don't have to wait quite so long, and if we can keep it going, we don't have to worry about it blowing up. So we've got our sulfur, which we have a ton of sulfur up in here, and we can get more. Recipe for that is what were we assisting to get that? Gravel. So yeah, we can get all of that we need. So we're getting the sulfur, and it has to be either any one of the dust in order to work. So it's either the thermal dust or the mechanism dust. Now, to make the mechanism dust, we've got the dye mixer, which I have no idea about. We've got doing it the chemical injection way with gunpowder and hydrogen chloride, or we've got oxygen and water doing coal. And so we've got plenty of sulfur. We're running through here. Now I've got, 12 of these set up, running to keep 3 of these going and to give us a bit of a surplus. That way we don't have to worry about these guys necessarily running out. And of course we've got our oxygen that we were already getting from down below, which we're going to go down below anyways. From this guy we're getting our oxygen and the hydrogen, and up here we're getting the water vapor that we need to make the sulfuric acid. It's just a rotary condensator in with water going in, and yeah, all set up, ready to go. This is using a ton of power. We might need to go check our power usage. Yeah, so our power usage has definitely crept up. We're now using 120-ish or so a tick. So, yeah, that's the thing, which we're going to be dealing with all of that here soon anyway. So, our next bit of business is to get to where we need to go, which is right here, and work on our next bit of business, which is going to be getting the sulfuric acid. The sulfuric acid is what you can use inside of not this one. This one is what you use in order to do the slurry to get into the 5 times ore processing. Yeah, like I said, we're not going to get into all of that. So, onwards and, well, not really upwards, but yeah, you get it. Alright, so we are back. So when we left off, we were at the spot of getting into the water vapor. We got set up down there. We've got that making our sulfuric acid. Our sulfuric acid is now where we're running into not producing enough of. So we may look at doing that, but we are making the uranium hexafluoride at a pretty good clip right now. We're at like 100 millibuckets, a little over 100 millibuckets a tick. That should give us plenty of power to do what we need to do, and all this is still going. So yeah, I've got that filled up. The hydrofluoric acid, like I said, yeah, that's going to be where our next bit is going to be, which is it comes down to the sulfuric acid. And we can add some more of those should we need to. But anyways, we got all of that going into here with the fluorite, the sulfuric acid making the hydrofluoric acid. We've got uranium being put into here. It's not even using all of this to do all of this. So this is a bit of an overkill here. Going into the chemical oxidizer. The chemical oxidizer is turning it into the uranium oxide, and then we've got our hydrofluoric acid coming over here on this side into this guy and going into our isotopic centrifuge. And I did have to change the power because if we come, oh, that's not what I wanted. That'll work. If we come out here and look, we are burning through. Well, we're not burning through it now. We were up to 500k a tick, so we're doing all right. So, but now that we've got that, it's time for the next bit of business, which is the reactor. All right. So before I get into getting into the reactor, I did go ahead and finish off the last couple of quests that we needed to do. That has all of that stuff taken care of. This shows you what you need as far as doing your 5 times ore layout. Or no, that's tier. Well, yeah, this is. Well, it says tier 4 ore processing, but there's all that. Like I said, we don't need that. The only other thing we needed to do was a jetpack. So the only thing we have left mechanism-wise now is our mech suit, which we can't do until we get polonium, which is where I'm headed. I've got to craft up a whole bunch of patterns and pieces and bits and bobs and everything else. So let me get at it. Alright, so we are back. I am about 500 blocks, actually no, 1,000 blocks from home. We want to set this thing, I don't even know what happened here. They've got weird spots that popped up. But we're out here, we're going to set this up. I don't know if I told you all or not, but I figured out the angel wand. If you hold left click, you can change the core in it. Or not hold left click, but use left click. You can change it from the angel core to construction core. So that was where, and then you hold the block in your offhand and it will place it. So that was where we were earlier having issues with. That was the reason why we were having issues with. So I want to come here. I want to F3G this. We want to make sure that this is all in just 1 or 2 chunks. For the time being, we're going to go with just 1 chunk. Once we get to making the reactor, we'll see about, or not the reactor, but the turbine, which is what we're eventually going to do. because I haven't done it, and we've been doing a lot of stuff in this pack that we haven't done before. So we're going to do it. I've never made it. There we go. That has this whole chunk taken care of. Let's place some torches down. It doesn't matter. We're going to have to move all these anyways because of how we're going to set this thing up. So, first things first. This guy. We're going to make the reactor. It can be... I forget what the max size is. Let's see here. Max size is 18 by 18 by 18. I had to look that up. So we're going to go, that probably disappeared for a second. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think 10 by 10 by 10 should suit us fairly nicely. Why are we going to do all that? 10, 11, that's 12. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright. So I'm going to build this up. We're going to frame it. We're going to put glass in it so we can see it. And I shall return. Alright, so everything's in place now except for our last row of glass. And that should have formed. It did not. What have I done wrong? Alright, I figured out what it was. I had forgot to put the control rod assemblies on the top of this. So now when we do this, it should form. Beautiful. There we go. We can now start working to the next part of this, which is to get it plenty of water and to get our fissile fuel put in here. That's the next part. Alright, so we are back. We got some stuff to go over. We've got this guy set up. He's full of water. I've got 3 sinks surrounded with ultimate pipes, hoping that's going to be enough to keep this thing full. We shall see. This is kind of where the balance of this thing comes in, is giving it enough, or having it burn enough fuel and keeping it to where we're not burning through our water to keep it from burning up. If we look here, we are producing fissile fuel right now at 16 millibuckets. Yeah. So as long as we keep it below that number, this thing should still be able to fill up and go, and as long as we've got stuff going, which I can keep an eye on that back at home. So that's all ready to go. I've got this set to output steam into a trash can for now. I've got to get us some better power storage before we're able to hook up the turbine and really start generating power. And of course, once we get this done, we're going to be looking at getting into the fusion reactor, because we're going to need a lot of a lot of power to get the antimatter. That's a whole nother section. So we've got this guy coming out of here. This is where our nuclear waste will come. It comes out. It'll go into the isotopic centrifuge. I've got this set up to run with a redstone signal, to where we can shut it off once we get the plutonium we need. With this, running it through the isotopic centrifuge gives us plutonium. With the fluorite dust gives us the plutonium chunks. If we look here, we get this, and with that we get the plutonium, it's the pellets. And with the pellets, we need that to make the SPS, which is kind of what the whole purpose of this is, that part of it, because we need to do that. So I need about 74 of the plutonium pellets. After that, everything will go into the polonium. So we've got this running on over here to where once this thing is done, we don't have to break anything or mess with anything. Should just go right over here into our solar neutron activators. This will take the spent or not the spent, but the waste, and turn it into the polonium. And the polonium in here with the fluorite dust will give us the polonium pellets. Now, I have this set up back at home, a crusher that's keeping this ender chest full of fluorite dust, so that should be going. So everything should be hooked up, ready to go, to where I can turn this on, and as long as we can keep water in it, we should be good to go. Now we're going to figure that out. So right now, we're good. We're not burning any heat. We are not getting anything else just yet, it looks like. But the heat is going up. So let's wait and see what we've got going on. Oh, hey, we're recording. I didn't realize that. So we've got both going. We've got our first piece of plutonium, and we've got 4 pieces of polonium. And there's no radiation, which means everything is running. And we're going up. So that is awesome. We should be good to go with this. It's going to be slow during the day as this thing's making it. I've got this up to 10 millibuckets. We could probably go more, and depending on how we go from here, we'll have to look. I don't know the exact total of polonium that we're going to need for all this. I do know the plutonium. So I do know we're going to need a few stacks of this. So yeah, it's I have figured out that this was off. So if I shut this off, it's still filling up. Okay, doesn't matter. Anyways, this is going, everything's working the way it's intended to. We are on our way of having all this done, so we can get into our mech suit probably next episode. I don't think we'll be able to get into any of the we might be able to do some of these. I don't know. Radiation shielding, jetpack. Don't want that. Elytra. So we need antimatter for flight, but we can do flight other ways. So we should be able to just about get into doing all of that. But we've got it going. I just got to keep an eye on things, make sure it doesn't explode. But like I said, we should be far enough away that we don't have to worry about anything. So I don't think there's any more Quest 2 square away. No, there's not. Yeah, we're good to go. So with that, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.